Yes, sir. Impact and Chill. John and Aaron back at you, coming from the sunshiny Colorado and down under. My brother, what's going on, man?
Welcome back, boy. Welcome back. You know, not much, man, not much. All I say at the start is that if you find this episode of value, please share the show. We don't run ads on this thing. It's just two guys from across the world having a conversation about life. And I know that it resonates with some of you that are listening to it. So, yeah, if you have got any value, let us know. But also share the show. But how you doing, man? What's news with you, man?
Man, just got back from Vegas. Had a little mini vacay, couple days just to go kind of reset the brain a little bit, enjoy. That's my second home out there. That's where the plans are to retire one day and one day very soon. So yeah, bro, it was just nice to go out there and see some. We have some really good friends that we see out there, and just go hang out and enjoy. And it's good, man. So still smelling like a vacation, but I will say this, bro. For those that are listening in Australia, it's just two blokes having a conversation. So I learned that one from you, bro. I'm gonna
You have, and
use it as much as I can.
well done. Well done for that. And I still can't get the fucking American accent. I come across as an Irish cowboy. I still can't fucking do it. But anyway, we're going to get into it. And I love that you said about Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas is kind of like a little bit true, but there's a lot more purpose behind the things that you're doing now and the things that we're doing, which is pretty much the conversation that we want to have. We had an epic conversation leading up to recording this, and it's all about the plans that we tend to put in place, the control we want to have in what our future looks like. And we've had a podcast before. We've had a conversation about this similar topic, but I think we're going to open it up a little bit more in that we every single one of us has an idea of what we want our life to look like.
Yep.
And there's a lot of us, and especially in the time that's in America at the moment, soon to be in Australia as well. And I think also you look at the last 4 years, there's been a lot of people that have been governed, you might say, dictated on what to do, not to do by other
Mm.
people or by the powers. And we know about the powers. There's a lot of people that want to stay in power and they'll do whatever they need to do to stay in power. So what they do is there's a lot of promises that they will save you. There's a lot of promises out there that they will give you stuff that will make your life a lot easier. But you and I both know, but that's all bullshit. That's all bullshit. You and I both know that there's only one person that can actually determine the success or the failure of your life, and that's you and I are
Mm.
all about that. So the conversation that we're going to have today is essentially the space that we've been playing in, which is again, our space changes all the time. I'm going to come from a place of what's in your present moment. And what I mean by present moment, and we're going to talk a little bit about energy as well, is what are you doing today, right here, right now, that's going to help your tomorrow?
Wow.
And, or are you focusing on your tomorrow? Are you focusing on your next week? I mean, you went to Vegas. Obviously you've got your big plans and what you want your life to look like.
Yep.
Me at the time of recording this in about 31 days, 40, 32 days, I'm moving 2.5 hours north to relocate with the woman of my dreams.
Wow.
Moving for love, and that's in 4 weeks. So with
Wow.
me and the 31, oh man, it's fucking cool, bro. It's cool. And the 31 to 32 days, I've got to not only relocate, I've also got to potentially look at either relocating, transfer jobs, or get a new job, but also find accommodation. But the conversation we had earlier was all about the rental market in Australia. I'm going to briefly talk about it. The rental market in Australia is that you can't find something now and hope that in 30 days' time it's still going to be there because it won't. Like the rental market in Australia, and a lot of places around the world, is that you'll be lucky to find something, um, and it will still be there in 7 to 10 days. So that's how quick the market is changing. So for
Mm.
me, that's the furthest thing from my mind is finding somewhere to live. That has to be the furthest thing from my mind. But at the same time, we want shelter, we want warmth, and we want somewhere to place our head. So how do you think I'm feeling? So there's an element of anxiety. Yeah, there's an element of anxiety there, but I can't put energy into that because I know if I find accommodation now, then I've literally got to be moving in 2 weeks. They're not going to give it to you. If I turn around to someone that has accommodation, I say, yeah, cool, I love the place, and they love me and they want me to be a tenant, they're not going to hold it for 30 days. That's
No.
missed income for them. That's missed paying their mortgage or whatever it is, missed bills, missed, your body corporate, all of these things. So there's absolutely no way. So I've got to be really grounded. There's an element of clarity on the shit that I've got to do every day, but I have to be really grounded. I have to be patient. I have to be in the energy of not being desperate. So it's a really interesting dynamic right now. We're excited as fuck for what's going to be happening at the end of October. But at the same time, I can't think too far ahead, because if I think too far ahead, it's just the plan's going to fall apart. So for you, naturally, where you want your life to be, we're talking either 12 months, 5 years, 10 years. Like, what's going through your head? What do you know? What are the foundations you have to lay in order for the life to be how you want it to be?
Yeah, man, it's one word, Aaron. It's discipline for me right now, and I think that's the biggest thing that I'm harping in on my whole entire life. And what I mean by that is that I realized when I took an audit, and I do this often, where I take an audit of what I'm doing, what's serving me and what's not serving me, and I realized that there's an element of discipline in all of it. Not just, and again, bro, we can go back to the things that, the things we talk about a lot, which is food, which is, gym habits, habits, rituals, routines. You talk about that often, but I mean, let's get a little bit deeper with it, Aaron. Let's talk about money.
Mm,
What have I always thought about with money? Well, I've always been desperate for money. So what do you think's always happened to me? It's always run. It's always been, hard to find. It's always been hard to keep. It's always been, so I've had to take inventory on that. Like, what can I do today to be disciplined with my money? Do I need to go out and get, this, that, and the other, or can I be disciplined this week and not do that? Or can I, and there's a lot of that going on right now, Aaron, where in order for me to create the life that willing that I get, I have to start today, right now.
mm,
It's no different, Aaron, than that analogy that we talk about with the bottom of the mountain. And you take that first step and you look up and you see that mountain and you're like, man, I can't get there. Well, no, you're right. If you don't move, you're not going to. And if you decide you're not going to practice the element of discipline, you're never going to take the
mm.
steps to go up that mountain to get what you want. It's not going to happen. And we take out the fact there, and you said this in one of our podcasts. You said, fuck your 5-year plan. And I say this, man, have a plan, but just realize that instead of going, you know what, I'm gonna take 5 years to do this. Bro, you just told me a story offline about somebody who built something really quick, probably had a plan, but it built quicker than he thought that it would, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe he hit his results quicker than he thought. And bro, this is the thing, man. The only reason why you say it'll take me 5 years is because now you're limiting yourself. You're saying, well, yeah, if I do this, it's safe, right? If I save 5 years, guess what? Now I can just chill and now I can just lay low and I don't have to do
Yeah.
this and I don't have to do that. At the end of the day, bro, I feel like this. How quickly can you move to get what you really want out of this life? We know we don't have all this time, man. We've talked about that plenty, dude. So not to get too off topic, I'll just say this, man. What I'm practicing in this moment is disciplining every single part of my life. Not to the point where I'm just so stiff, right? And I'm walking around like a robot. It's not that. But now I know my energy and everything that I give to my energy and everybody's that's in my energy is adding value or bringing me something or allowing me. And what I mean by bringing something, you're bringing value, you're bringing something, some sort of education, or, and again, but what's the three L's? Laugh, love, and what's
Learn,
the other one?
learn.
Learn, right? So, dude, it goes right back to that, Aaron. I cannot be in a space where one of those three things is not happening.
Mm.
I find myself more hungry than ever and more disciplined to go, you know what? I don't need to be in spaces that are not serving me. So that's what I'm really practicing right now, bro, is it's discipline.
I love that. And you know what? The other thing is that when people start a journey, there's an excitement of a journey, there's an excitement of an outcome, there's an excitement of why they started the journey in the first place. And I'm always going to refer back to the gym. Because if you have a look at the gym, you have a look at the things that you need to do every day, the discipline you need to do every day, and the actions you need to take every single day to transform your body is no different to you when you have a look at your life, you have a look at a business. There has to be an element of action in order for you to either grow the business and for you to, for you to transform your body. The product is different. In other words, the outcome you're looking for is different in each sector, but there's similar steps along the way. You have to go through the hard, and I think it's what a lot of people also they misunderstand, or they don't want to acknowledge that things are going to be hard because they're so excited about the journey. And it's like you need to embrace the hard. Because if you don't embrace the hard, if you don't tell yourself that this journey is going to be fucking hard, but you know what? I'm going to have the discipline to get through and do all these things I need to do every day to help me get to where I want to be. You may have a 5-year plan, but if you fucking are disciplined and if you're ruthless, you could hit that 5-year plan in 3.
Yes, you could.
And that's where a lot of people are like, oh, God, yeah, you said it before. 5 years, that's okay. I don't have to go hard. Why the fuck not? If the space that you're in, so if you're disciplined every single day to get to the things that you need to do to get to where you want to be, and the other thought process you have of tomorrow's never guaranteed, what now do you think happens? It
Mm,
becomes, there's an element of urgency. So if you're
mm.
in the space of that, my tomorrow is never guaranteed. I could lose my health tomorrow for whatever reason. You could lose your health tomorrow. And we talked about offline is that the one thing that you lose that you wish you had and you can't get back if you lose it is your health. Once you've lost that, then everything else that you're working on now no longer fucking matters.
No, it doesn't.
So there goes your 5-year plan. There goes all these fucking dreams that you thought you had because now the one thing you need to focus on is get your health back.
Yep.
There's also another element is that all these people have all these dreams and then all of a sudden it's gone. It's over. You don't get a chance. You've
Yeah,
experienced
and
that.
yeah, the bro, I mean, there's no secret, dude, and I'll even throw this in the mix too, man. It's life changing when you go through something like that. For those that, are listening to this pod for the first time, I encourage you to go back and listen to our other episodes, but I'll say it here too. Losing my 17-year-old boy, Jaden, it's talking to him every day. We had plans. We had so many plans for him, what he was going to get into next, what was going to happen after high school, bro. That's not here no more.
Mm,
And so when you think about it like this, Aaron, think about going through something like that and then still having to figure out how to do life. How do you now live with your spouse? How does that work? A grieving mother. You
mm,
you tell me you could live with a grieving mother, right? Dude, the discipline that it took for both of us. I'm not just saying me, for her too. For us to be able to give each other grace to grieve on our own and figure out how we were going to come back together. Imagine that, Aaron. And then you tell me if I have not put on a thick coat of armor and said, try me. I dare you to try me. Tell me your sob story. Tell me how much it hurts. Tell me how hard it is to get out of bed. Guess what? I got you. Guess what? I can sit here with you. And bro, I'll never sit here and attack you from an evil place. You'll have my whole heart. You'll have my whole attention. I'll sit here with you and I will sit and listen to you. But then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the exact same thing that my closest friends, including you, said, you know what? What's next, John? Have you ever thought about that? Bro, I remember, I shit you
mm.
not, Aaron. I remember this conversation like it was yesterday. When you and I sat here and had a conversation where you said to me, brother, I love you. Have you ever thought about what you're going to do next? And I remember just in that moment, dude, it was exactly what I needed to hear. Not that I had all the answers, but it was so awesome that you said to me, I am absorbing everything you said, and all I would love to see is what you do next. It was almost like you were just waiting for that, Aaron. Whatever that next was, right? It wasn't
Yeah. Yeah.
nobody knew what that next was going to be, right?
Yep.
You were so curious on what I was going to do then. Imagine that.
And you
So
know what?
that's where I come from, dude, is what's next?
All I wanted for you was to move. That's all I wanted
Yeah.
you to do. I just wanted you to move. I just wanted you to move anywhere. Didn't matter what direction. I just needed you to get away from the place where you were at whatever that looked
Yes.
like. And then once you start moving, then all of a sudden you start to figure out what it is that you want. The energy comes back, the direction comes back, the clarity comes back. But also for you, there's a lot more purpose now in how you live your life. I've lost both my parents. And like, but I can't, I'll never ever, um, and I don't wish that this day comes, but I'll never know the pain from losing a child. So for me
Right.
though, but pain's pain.
Pain
And
is pain.
yeah, and I think the biggest thing for me is that yeah, I've lost both my parents. I can't have those conversations with my parents anymore. Like you can't have the conversations with your son, but we kind of do. We do in our own head. We still rely on them. They still give us the signals, and they still kind
Yes.
of guide us in our life's journey. But there's a lot more purpose, and this is the birth of Focus 20 for you. This was the birth
Yes.
of my watch business, the Endless Watch Co. I built that or I started that in memory of my father. And if you want to
Mm.
know about that story, I'll tell it about it. I'll tell you at another time. This is not the time to have that conversation. What I want to put out there now is I'm seeing a lot of men get stuck, and I'm seeing a lot of men that are wishing or wanting their life to be a little bit different, but then also blaming external factors for where they're at. You right there, bro? Those guys on
Yeah, I
YouTube
got
just so you have a
little,
little
little
bit of
fly.
a yeah.
No, a little fly came and buzzed my brain here, bro. I got a little fly on me. So
Uh,
he came and
guys on YouTube is
added
like,
some value
it's like,
himself.
what the hell just happened there? So yeah, you guys on on Apple Podcasts, you have to go over YouTube to see what just happened. But yeah, the interesting thing with a lot of men, and I'm seeing it here in Australia as well. Like I've realized only recently that my Awakened Warrior program, men here in Australia are not ready for that. It's too advanced
Mm.
for them. They haven't taken ownership of their life. And in order for you to move to where you want to be, it's like, what the fuck are you doing right here, right now that's going to help you move in the direction you know you need to move on? Or are you waiting for people around you to tell you what to do? Or are you waiting from help from government? Or are you waiting from help from like an external source? Because here's the thing. And I've also learned this, and this is a practice that I'm really embracing every single day is that how many, and John, I'm going to ask you a question. How many thoughts do you have every single day?
I think the number, I remember right, it's something like 70 some thousand thoughts would go through our brain every single day. We
Yep.
process. We
Yep.
we don't process them all, but they enter and
Yep.
exit pretty damn
So
quick.
all these decisions, all these thoughts, all these
Hmm.
decisions in your head. Okay, so you have a thought, but then you also have a decision. And the
Yep.
decisions are on whether or not you're going to have a sandwich for breakfast or for lunch, or you're going to have chicken and rice. They're the
Mm.
decisions.
Mm.
Now, for you having well, let's go something different. Let's go on the fitness journey. Let's go, which you can apply the same method to every aspect of your life. That for dinner, you're either going to have chicken and rice or you're going to have a pizza. Which
Yep.
one, what action are you going to take that's going to help you achieve the objective of a physical transformation?
Yep.
If
Uh,
you choose the pizza, your fucking choice. If you choose the pizza, what's going to happen shortly after you finishing the pizza? What's going to happen when you look at yourself in the mirror? What's going to happen when you jump on the scales? What are you going to be thinking about yourself? All right. So
Damn.
you've kind of okay, you've taken all that on board. Now let's look at the same method of you've got all these thoughts, you've got all these decisions that you are now faced with that are going to help you become better in business. They're going to help you improve and become better in a relationship. It's going to help you become more connected with yourself. Do the things that are going to add more purpose to your life. What decisions do you make every single fucking day that is aligned with the action and that is aligned with your purpose, aligned with how you want your life to look? What actions are you taking now? Are they for the life you want or are they working against you? Stop fucking blaming other people around you because you're the one that's done the action. No one else. No one
And,
else.
and what's dope about that, man, as we wrap up here, Aaron, I'll say this too is I've gotten some feedback, you know, on our podcast from some of my close friends and people that I actually, just I value their opinion, right? And one of the things that got brought up was, well, what about somebody who just struggles to get out of bed every day?
Mm,
And my reaction, that's me. I'm that guy. And I don't mean that as in I get up and I'm sad. No, I mean, imagine that just for a second. Imagine that you're a grieving parent every
mm,
single day for
mm,
the rest of your life.
mm.
You want to get out of bed? Do you want to keep doing what you've been doing because your life is completely altered? It's different. So once again, bro, it's not an excuse. There's no excuse for it, right? And again, listen to me when I say this. I'm speaking from my heart here. This is not a harsh conversation. And even if it is, if you're taking it that way, I'm sorry that you are, but you need to hear this is I'm there with you. How about this? If I'm your coach and I'm speaking to you from a coach and even from a friend, and I'm saying, you know what? If it's hard for you to get out of bed, how about we just get out of bed and we go to the gym? Why don't we start there? All right, I don't feel like it today. All right, you know what? Just do it today. And then we'll handle tomorrow when tomorrow comes. Guess what? If tomorrow comes, let me say it that way,
Mm, mm, mm.
right? So what can you do right now in this moment today to just, like my boy just said, move?
Yeah.
What if we
Yeah.
can move you away from this shit that you're in right now and just move you a little bit? Can I just have you move? Let's not care about the result right now. Let's not care about what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
We just move.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. It's like, don't worry about the result. Don't worry about the result. You've already got the thoughts. You've already got the decisions. You've already got these ideas in your mind on where you want to go. Like, but if you put too much pressure on the end goal, you're losing sight of the steps that you're taking.
Right.
And when you
Right.
lose sight of the steps that you're taking, then all of a sudden, depression comes in because you're not where you want to be soon. Like all of these things. And we don't want you to be there. Like, let's just start, not being able to get out of bed. You're in this massive deep hole of depression or whatever it is. But yeah, hey, there you go again. Yo. Um,
You guys will love this one if you watch it on,
I,
on YouTube. Good
I
God.
agree. I agree. So, all right, let's get back to serious. Okay. So if you are in that dark hole and that pit and like that really deep depression, and you just physically can't move, and you're stuck in bed, like just get out of bed. If
Just
you're
get out of
able to
bed.
get out of bed to go to the toilet, then stay out for a little bit longer. Don't go
Yeah.
straight to back to bed. Just stay out a little bit longer. Even if you're just standing there, not doing anything, like just a thought will come to you. Just process it and just move.
Just move. And believe me when I tell you, it's just necessary. And the thing is, bro, is a way back when you said that, it was awesome because it was all love, dude. It
Mm,
was
mm.
just when you said that, I never felt attacked. You just asked all you asked me, and it was so curious. You said, "What's next?" And I think at that time, I don't even know if I gave you an answer.
Yep,
I just moved, if that makes any sense. And I don't
yep.
even know what, bro. It doesn't matter. This is the thing, Aaron. A lot of people are probably, well, what did you do? I don't even remember. I just know I didn't stay there.
Mm.
I didn't stay where I was at, and I moved. And I've had to learn every day to do that. And it's just like you say, what has been born since then? Dude, this podcast was born from that. All these things, bro, that would have I don't know. I can't even say what would have, could have, should have, because that's neither here nor there, right? But all I can tell you, bro, is in that moment, moving was the best thing that I can tell you that I did. And so for me, dude, that's why I think I get so pumped up about these conversations because when people say you don't understand, I do. Actually, I do. You know why? Because I've hit the dark day.
Yeah.
I've had my darkest day. And you know what? I'll tell you too, Aaron. I learned that everybody has that story. Everybody. The
Yep,
more people I tell my story to, they turn around and tell me their story right back. And I love it.
yep.
And I don't mean I love hearing the bad news. I mean, I call it what we call it in our grief group. We call them love stories because if you don't ever want to grieve, don't ever love. when grief equals love. It's crazy to
Mm,
say, and it's weird to say. I don't want to
so
take
true
this
though.
conversation there, but if you think about your story, Aaron, what you just told me, and everybody listening here, you all have a painful story to tell.
Yep.
You just don't tell it because you're embarrassed, because no, it's nobody's business, because I don't want to open up to nobody. Whatever those blockages are, could you move a little bit closer each day to maybe considering it? Because, bro, how long did it take for me to tell my story on this, Aaron? And I don't
Oh,
mean from episode one, dude. I
nah,
mean
nah.
episode 10, episode 15. And I remember after every conversation we would have on this pod, we would get offline and you'd go, bro, I need more. I need you to get real. And I'd be like, fuck, what's he talking about? I understand that now.
Yep.
We've had this podcast for over a year now, and I'm barely understanding what you mean by that. But now I speak with my whole heart, and whoever listens, listens, and everybody else, hey, you have your opinion. It's okay. You're not going to hurt me because guess what? You can't. That's just bottom line.
100% love that. And you know what? Yeah, every single one of us has got darkness, and I absolutely love everything that you said there. And that's the absolutely perfect time for us to say good night on this episode. Shit, episode 71, 72, something like that. Like, yeah,
Damn.
we've mate, we've done well. We've done well, and yeah, it's good to be back. Good to have a really deep conversation. And as I said at the start of this thing. Like I know people will get value from this. We just ask you to share the show. We just like we're not here to try and be famous. Like it's not that. It's just that we've realized that every single one of us has a story. Every single one of us is going through hurt, going through pain, going through darkness in some way, shape, or form. And if we can kind of go, we get you, we get it. You know, we've been through there. If we can share our struggles and how we're overcoming that to create a great life, then we just ask you just to help us out, just share our story.
Love it, bro. Love it. And I appreciate it, man, as always. Like I say, at the end of the day, you have a plan all day, but as we know, life smacks you in the mouth and takes you on a different direction. You have to be ready for whatever comes next. And I think that's what it comes down to, brother. So
Hell yeah.
thank you, my man. Appreciate it.
Love you,
Another great
brother.
episode.
Thank you, guys.
And
Appreciate your time and tuning in, and love you, man. And yeah, stay safe over in Colorado.
from the two blokes signing out. Appreciate you guys. Until next time.
Peace.